Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back into my channel. Before we get started today with my impressions of the Battlefield 1 beta, we're finally going to name the winner of the $250 giveaway. And I'd like to apologize again to all of you subscribers that have been waiting patiently and have stuck around despite the ridiculously long wait. I've added a rundown to exactly what happened and why this is taking so long if you're curious, but if not, it doesn't matter. So either way, let's get started here. I've already taken the liberty of writing all of your names down. Paper, we're just going to do a classic hat draw. Mix them up. Okay, without further ado, our winner is Sasori. I hope that's how I pronounce it. Congratulations, you're the winner. To get a hold of me here, just DM me on Twitter so we can decide exactly how you want to do this. I'll add all my information into the description box below. Okay, now that that's finally done with, let's talk about Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1's open beta started on August 31st, so I've had quite a bit of time with the game. And though unfortunately during the beta we only had access to one map, 2 game modes, and just a limited selection of weapons and upgrades, I do feel I can give at least a somewhat adequate impression of what the finished version may be, due sheerly to the amount of time I put into it. But before I go any further, I just want to preface this video by first saying that I was deeply skeptical about the World War I setting. I was worried about the weapon and vehicle choice, as well as settings and maps being limited due to the lack of technological advancements. But now I can safely say that all of my worries were completely unfounded, and I am incredibly impressed with how the game is shaping up. To be more specific, let's start with the weapons. I was worried that weapon selection as far as automatic rifles would be limited, but I'm happy to report that even the limited selection of automatic rifles and LMGs that were available in the beta were varied enough to not feel repetitive. Not to mention this was without any upgrades at all available for any of them. So when the full game is released, I don't expect there to be any problems on that front whatsoever. Another weapon I was worried about was a sniper rifle. Going back almost 100 years, I was worried that the lack of technological innovation would be restraining, to say the least. But I was wrong again. None of the sniper rifles I used in the beta had access to the cycling of the scope's zoom magnifier, but there was a prompt showing the button to do so. So we can extrapolate that this will be available in the full release. Sniping at long distances without the ability to zoom did feel harder than it did in Battlefield 4, but honestly, I kind of like it that way. It felt more realistic, and it made the times I did connect to feel that much better. I had a lot of fun with Sniper class, which ended up being my preferred playstyle throughout most of the time with the beta, but I also had a good time with the Assault and Support classes. Though I was originally skeptical with most of the things that go along with the World War I setting, it was the vehicles that had me the most skeptical. Luckily, these fears were unwarranted as well. I'm not certain whether or not there were more or less vehicles in this beta than in Battlefield 4, but the selection definitely did not seem to be lacking. And as for the planes, these actually ended up being one of my favorite things in the entire beta, and not even just flying them. With the technology being almost brand new during this period, planes obviously did not have the capability to fly at fast speeds or at high altitudes like they do today. So when enemy planes are flying above you, it feels more tangible. It's like a soldier on foot is just as much a threat to the plane as a plane is to the soldier, which just isn't a feeling you can get in, say, Battlefield 4, where in comparison, the planes and helicopters are so much faster and deadlier to a soldier on foot, who is hardly ever a threat unless he has a rocket launcher with lock-on capabilities, another technology that simply was not available during World War I. So in short, plane combat felt incredible, whether it was in a dogfight or a plane versus a soldier on foot using a mounted weapon. The last area I want to touch on is the map and game modes, which really is where my only real complaint comes in. First off, I gotta say that the one map, the Sinai Desert, is absolutely gorgeous, along with the rest of the game. Though that's to be expected, I guess, by now. And better yet, even with the graphics on Ultra and at 1440p, my frame rate stayed above 80 almost constantly. The only real issue I had, which is just a minor one, is that the map felt great for Conquest mode, but awful for Rush, which was a bummer, as Rush has always been one of my favorite game modes. So as I said, a minor issue. And on the flip side, I thought the map was perfect for Conquest, which is the way more popular game mode anyway. Another cool function of the map was another new addition to Battlefield 1, which is to give, at the end of Conquest matches, the losing team access to a massive vehicle to help them even the score. For the Sinai Desert, the vehicle is a huge train that runs through the middle of the map, and I know from watching some gameplay footage that another map brings in a massive blimp to serve the same function. You may disagree, but personally, I really enjoyed this new function. But all in all, I have to say I'm genuinely really excited for the full release on October 21st. Even with both Battlefield Hardline and Star Wars Battlefront being a little disappointing, I have a lot of faith in Battlefield 1. It'll be nice to get back into a full-fledged Battlefield game again with both a full campaign and a robust multiplayer. But anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you like my content and or want to subscribe, there are 2 buttons perfect for you. Thanks again, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one.